Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Today is Friday in California. How's everyone doing? It's always fun when a package shows up just before you go live and you're like, I'm pretty sure I saw this getting packaged when I was in Shenzhen. I should have just bought it when I was in Shenzhen instead of ordering from AliExpress, but it showed up. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? It's Friday. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I've been gone all week. I've been gone all week to the faraway event. I've been gone to the faraway place known as Detroit. Take him to Detroit. How's everyone doing? I'm back. I am back. Today is going to be a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B on the stream today. We are going to continue on with the ProForge build series, obviously, because I reused last stream settings. So that's what we're going to do today. And I also spilt a zip tie, a bag full of zip ties. So I got to clean this up real quick. But before we get into the ProForge, we are going to talk about Rapid, because I was at Rapid and I was horrible and didn't take a lot of pictures. But I got a feeling there's going to be some stuff people want to talk about. I won't dive into everything quite in-depthly because I have videos filmed. So there would be videos coming out that might cover some stuff. 14-day vacation. Nice. Very nice. I've traveled a lot in the last little bit, and I'm going to be traveling more because Rapid's in a month. So, Bondtech info, what do you want to know? But more importantly, do you want to win a spool of filament? Do you want to win it? Do you? Because every stream we give away a spool of filament from Polymaker. Link in the video description. Enter for your chance. And yeah, do this now. Do this now. Favorite upcoming video topic? Well, let's see. So there's several videos in the works right now. I've got like 3 videos being edited right now. You're driving, can't enter. Then how did you type that? How did you type that? Yes, the Prusa build will eventually continue. It's just sidelined right now. We'll get to it when we get to it. The index looks cool, not practical. But here's the thing that you need to think of. If you need to bring a demonstration piece of your really compact, really efficient tool changer around to trade shows, shipping sucks and bigger things tend to break more often. So why not build an itty bitty V0 with your tool changer on it, because it shows off how compact the system is and it's easy to bring around because it shows how it works. A tool changer printing on a bed this big versus a tool changer printing on a bed this big is still a tool changer. So if you want to bring something around to the shows, it's nice to have a little compact one ready to go. Less likely to break. You can put it in your carry-on. How many tool changers do you know that can fit in your carry-on? But before we get to that, let's see me blow up electronics. You guys want to watch me blow up electronics? Because I think I'm doing this right, and if I'm not, it's gonna break. You guys want to watch me blow up electronics? Hopefully this works. I bought random stuff on AliExpress. Hey Steve, remember those Violent fans? I bought a bunch of the motors. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I kind of have an idea for a project. But PCBWay's been bugging me to do a project, and I think I know what I'm going to do with these. But I bought a bunch of the motors. So I got one taped to my desk here, and I don't know if it's going to work because I'm using this little power supply because it needs 7.4 volts, and all my 2S batteries need to be charged. So if this works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Here is our testing flag. Here is our testing flag. There we go. Okay. Output. I was literally, if you're wondering why the stream was ever so slightly late today, it's because I was faffing about with this. So this is a 130,000 RPM fan. It's 7.4 volts. And I think it goes up to 5 amps. I think. I don't know. I got it set for 1 amp. Oh, it's on. Okay, so I have it set for 1 amp and it's drawing 1.3 amps. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. How high can we go? How high can we go? Oh, that's the side. Okay, so let's bump the amperage up on this. 1.1 amp. That's got some 1.3. We're at 2.2 amps. Oh, wow, that's actually... Ooh, that's got some power. That's actually got a bit that's got some power. Three point 4.2. So it's drawing 26 watts. Like, this is moving a lot of air. Like, here, can we move a rubber ducky? Will it move a rubber ducky? Oh, shoot, it will remove it. It will move a rubber ducky. Will it move? Now, here's the question. Will it move the gamer subs? It will not, but you can move it yourself with code Canuck and save 10% on your order and buy some gamer stuff. Will it move Joel? It will move Joel. By the way, I wanted an SLS Joel. This is solid nylon. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. Where's my scale? Where's my scale? How heavy is this? It's 176 grams. It's 176 grams. Can we go any higher? I think that's all we're getting. Okay, that's all we're getting for threat. Wow, that is... Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Wait, more importantly, we got to see how much shit it can move. Science. Okay. Wow, that actually moves quite a bit. Jet? That is really cool. That is really cool. I bought a bunch of these. I bought 3 because I'm like, I'll use 1 for testing and then 2 for a project. I think I know what I'm gonna build with it, but I don't know for sure yet. This was really nice to have. Yeah, the shit is hitting the fan. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's being blown away from the fan. ESC is ever so slightly warm, but not bad. Motor's cool. Will it blow? Hello and welcome to the Violent Fan channel, where I turn on a fan and move stuff around a desk. And I think I missed a donation. 1 second here. I was a little caught up in doing some scientific. That was totally scientific. I don't have a notepad, but this is a live stream, so it's always recording. So that counts as writing it down. So we did do science today. Who was that? Who was that? Who was that? I missed it. Andrew Rogers, $10 for the Hooray It's Friday fund. Cheers and appreciate it. So how many watts? It was like 27 watts, just under 5 amp draw at 7.4 volts. That's relatively efficient, I think. That's relatively efficient, I think. So the plan is get 2 of these and make a jet, an RC jet, FPV jet or something. I don't know. I think that's what we're gonna do with this. I think that's what I'm gonna do because I got a bunch of these. If you're wondering how big they are, they're that. And if you're wondering how much they weigh, That's a good question because I never checked. Nice. They weigh, is it not showing up on that camera? They weigh 69 grams. Nice. So yeah, so we're going to do a project with these in the next little bit once I figure out what to do with them exactly. Are Chinese 3D printer prices rising? What do you think? I'm Canadian, so they're not. Americans. The prices of printers aren't going up, but the taxes and duties on them are. For the Americans in chat, have fun. That sucks. That really sucks. So what else did I get? So yeah, Rapid was really cool. I beat Joel's time at a hammer the nail in with a resin hammer challenge, and I won a SLS Joel. So I have a Joel Bot award of my own, and Joel will be graced up on the shelf next to the scantily clad, not quite nude, but nothing to left to the imagination resin print. So Joel gets to live up on the shelf. There's a helicopter outside. I could hear it. What else did I get? Oh, I visited our friends at Bamboo, and they gave me this. I went and visited our friends at Bamboo Lab at their booth. And I got one of these guys, a wireless mouse kit. That'll be a fun little project we'll do at some point. So we got that. Save that for like a Saturday night build series. I got some more Vision Miner. This shit's like Frank Red Hot, and apparently they have an affiliate program, and I'm gonna sign up for it. I should have did it before the stream today, before I tell you should get some Vision Miner, because I put this shit on everything. I put this shit on everything. Do they not recognize you? I don't know. I just went and looked at the printers and talked to a bunch of people, and that was that. It was like, I didn't look at anyone's name badge. So did I talk to anyone important at Bamboo? I don't know. Did I talk to random people at Bamboo? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I went to the Bamboo booth. I talked to people. I looked at the printer. The printer's fine as a printer. I got nothing against it. I just think a lot of the too much stuff on the machine to make it worth it. Plus with the new price, it's really hard to justify, but they do ship to Canada. Oh, Vision Miner. No, Vision Miner, if you're in Canada, you buy it through 3D Printing Canada, I think. What else was there? I didn't really bring a lot back. I finally have some Polymaker PPS filament, so I can play around with that stuff. The show was good though. I was bad. I did not take any photos from Rapid. I took like no photos. But I didn't live stream at the show. However, if you are a channel member, or you are a Patreon supporter, or if you're lucky and somebody gifts you membership between now and the end of the stream, or you find my Twitch channel and you throw a Twitch Prime at it and you link your account with the Discord, in the Only Bench Yacht Club section and the community page on YouTube, there is a full 1 hour walkthrough of Rapid that I recorded on my camera that I put live. It will be live for everyone tomorrow, but if you want to see it early, it's on the channel now. So you can go, if you're a member of the Only Bench Yacht Club or channel supporter, you can go watch it early. But as for the other stuff that we have in the queue, we have a 5-axis printer. Some guys working on some software to actually make 5-axis 3D printing somewhat viable, finally. What else do we have? We have, I filmed a segment with Ebos. We have the Index segment. This will be out Sunday. Sunday will be, so you're gonna get 2 videos this weekend. You're gonna walk around tomorrow, and you're going to get an index, a video on the Bondtech Index on Sunday. I'm not gonna dive into it. If you have any random questions during the stream or during like this little part here, just ask. But if I cover it in the video, I'm just gonna say watch the video. If it's other than a very quick answer. What is laser printing? What is laser? Oh, this one. This was really cool. This is it uses a conical laser to print in resin without needing any support. So you basically fill a cartridge with resin, and then it shines lasers at it, and where they intersect is where it hardens. It's actually pretty cool. So I did a video with those guys. I did a video with Luke's Lab. I did a video with Automated. Pantheon will probably be a week video. Probably be next weekend's video because that's a pretty big video. Also, this is pretty cool. This prints resin inside a gel. Or correction, not resin. It's silicone inside an inert gel. So you can put your hands in there and pull out the prints when they're done. It's pretty cool. I did a video on that, and then the walkthrough video, which is like an hour long, and then there's some other stuff. It's a lot like TCT Asia. It's a trade show. It's an industry trade show. A lot of metal printing, a lot of like Stratasys is there, and 3D Systems and EOS. Speaking of EOS, I got this little copper metal printed keychain. I actually have 2 of these because they gave me one and then I put it in my bag, and then I started playing with another one while talking, and then I forgot that I already took one. So sorry, EBOS, I have 2 of these. But what I'm going to do with this is, since this is copper and it has a lot of surface area, I think this would make a fun little heat sink for a Raspberry Pi. Just solder on like a flat piece of copper and then use it as a heat sink. So I got that, and then yeah, what else was there? I saw somebody was asking about the K2, the K2 Pro. The K2 is just the upgraded K1. The K2 Pro is smaller than a K2 Plus, and I think it's like it's got a metal frame, I think, or metal enclosure. I don't know. They look very much like they're just a medium and a small version of the K2. If K2 Plus is a large, they now have a small and a medium. What else was there? What else was there? I was actually kind of hoping Elegoo had a larger Centauri carbon. It turns out it was a resin printer that they wanted to show me. Jabberwocky, I took a look at that. I didn't do a video on any of the LDO stuff. Well, I did somewhat on the automated system, which LDOs might be doing kits for. Jabberwocky, though, I'm going to try and get a Jabberwocky kit to put in this V2 that we're going to put the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder on whenever we get to finishing that. What else? What else? There was a lot of stuff. A lot of it is, again, like stuff. It's an industry trade show. So it's like half the show was like, look at our powders and look at our materials and look at our like our drills. Like it is an industry trade show. So it's not all like consumer level 3D printing, obviously. So there's a lot of stuff that just like way out of our wheelhouse. But it's still cool to see. Like I always say, if you have the chance to go to these shows, go to these shows because you will have fun. I'm going to break this cable here because I want to get the peak off this. 1 second. There we go. So this is from 3DX Tech and Vision Miner. So this is their box opener. That's a fully 3D printed. It's a shiv. And then we got some peak. I got some peak. Although I think these are supposed to screw on both ways, and it doesn't. But so I got some peak. If you're wondering how strong peak is, it's LTT Store screwdriver versus Ultim. Round 1, fight. It's good. If anything, I actually put a chunk out of my LTT. Oh, I did. I took a chunk out of the LTT Store screwdriver. Yeah, that actually damages the LT. Okay, so Linus, your screwdriver. Linus, somebody clip this and send it to Linus. Linus, your screwdriver, it doesn't beat Ultim and Peak. Like it's not Peak proof. I can't use your screwdriver as a hammer against Peak to break Peak. It doesn't work. So I need the metal one you guys have. I need the metal one. Yeah, it's PI, Ultim PI. It's $300 a spool. That's all you need to know. So we got that, got this guy. This will actually be, let's make a really nice heat sink for a Raspberry Pi. Okay, I think that is about it for the little pre-show show. That Kraus Maffei printer was the size of a garden. Yeah, that was pretty cool, but you gotta understand, it's actually surprisingly easy to build a large 3D printer. If you could just take a 5-axis Gantry CNC, take the Gantry off of it and just put a filament extruder on. Or correction, a pellet extruder on. So that machine, I'm pretty sure, is originally a motion system for a 5-axis, like a finishing machine or something, or even like a super large CMM. There's a lot of reasons to have that motion system in machining. And all you do is you just take the tool head off and you just put a resin extruder. You just put a plastic extruder on it, a pellet fed extruder on it, and hey, look, it's a giant 3D printer. Okay. Let's get this printer up on the shelf and let's get this movable feast underway. My voice is kind of scratchy, so we'll see how far we make it today. Oh, there's the rubber ducky. That guy went flying. You came over? Oh, cheers, Illumina Technology. I managed to clean off styrene from acrylic. You want a degreaser, something like Simple Green, Windex. You want to use a degreaser. ISO won't clean your panels off unless you like really flush them, because essentially ISO just dissolves everything and moves it around. So if you have a rag, the rag will pick it up a lot if it's dissolved, but if it'll still like leave gunk, it'll still leave a residue. So if you really want to clean it, you need to use like a degreaser. Okay, where were we at with this guy? Where were we at? We got the bed wired up, I believe, was the last thing we left off at. So while I pull all this up, YouTube disclosure, this is the ProForge 300 sent to me by MakerTech 3D. For this build series, if you want to build one for yourself, I do have links for it in the video description. While I'm not being paid for this build series, I am compensated by, I get to keep this printer when I'm done building it. But words and opinions are my own. You blah, 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 YouTube disclosure. The link in the description is not an affiliate link. Where is it? There it is, okay. Almost done clipperizing your CR10 Max. Nice. Yeah, I've got so the plan for those jet motors is I have an RC wing somewhere. It's an older one. And I want to try seeing if those motors will make it fly instead of like the normal prop motor. And if it does, see if I can design a 3D printable flying wing. It'd be cool to do something like an SR-71, but I don't know if the geometry would provide enough lift at those speeds. Does Polymaker do PPA-CF? Actually, let me go grab the filament I got from Polymaker. Because they did give me some filament, so I want to, you know, give them a little shout out at least. Where did I put it? I think it's inside. Where did I put it? I think it's in the computer room. It's in the computer room. Okay, let's grab this. This. Put that there. Is there anything else that I needed? No. Okay. Oh, hey, puppy. There we go. Okay. So Polymaker was gracious enough to provide me with some samples while I was there. So this is PPS CF10. So this is stuff you need to print at, I think, 350 on the nozzle. So Pantheon. And then, so I'm gonna put it with the Pantheon so I don't lose it. And then the other stuff they gave me was PET CF17. So this will print on the Prusa, and this should be pretty nice filament too. But it's a PET, which means great layer adhesion, and CF should be pretty stiff. So. Is it PPA CF or PPS? It's, I don't know exactly which one. Check their website. Their website probably has all that info. I know they have the bell and the gong and whatnot. but I'm not exactly sure which one is which. Okay, let's see. Grab these. Put that there for now. Balin V, 2,000 Hungarian funny monies. Cheers and appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to say this now. If you've ever been interested in supporting the channel, now is the best time to become a channel member. Why is that? Well, as a gracious Canadian, I like to charge Canadian prices for my memberships. At least I set them up in Google as Canadian. If they show up as American in your page, then, well, they're American. But right now, the Canadian dollar is rising. I think it's more just the American dollar's tanking. So if you get in your membership now, you save. I just saw that this morning. It's like, oh shit, the Canadian dollar is actually not in the, it's been 69 cents for the longest time. It's not nice. Okay, where were we at on this build series? Where were we at? We were here. Vetus now has a hardened nozzle for an extruder. They do. I have it in that machine. I have it in, do I have it in that one? Did I install it? Do I have it in the Prusa? I do. I have one in the Prusa because I have the other one right here. Yeah, I got a silicon carbide one. What is this? Oh, conch. Got the conch, the Apus 2. I also have socks. They gave me socks. But yeah, this has one of their silicon nozzles. Dougal gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. And Elf310, thank you for becoming a member. Cheers and appreciate it. So last stream we left off, we wired up the bed. And now we're moving on to, I think, the gantry. Yeah, we're on to the gantry. Heck yeah. So, build the X end stop assembly carrier as shown. Okie dokie. I can do that. Okay. So that goes there. I didn't accidentally, but I took a box that I was resting all this stuff on inside, so I'm not going to use this. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? You are samples for something else, so you stay up here. You are all my screws that are all over the place, so you come over here. I'm talking to myself. Vinny, thank you for becoming a member. Cheers and appreciate it. And are these the end stops? No, that's a servo and a camera. Oh, it comes with a camera too. Nice. This printer actually comes with a camera. That's nice. Okay, so we got end stops, end stops, end stops. Okay, end stops. And then I also need whatever this black piece is, X end stop, 3D printed X end stop mount. "3D printed X end stop mount. Where are you at? 3D printed X end stop mount. Are you in here? These are the metal parts. Nope, not in here. Yesterday I saw waving the camera at the Polymaker booth stream. Oh, that's probably me. I think I waved at it every time I walked by. They were streaming the whole show, so I give them credit for that. Or they had that stream going for a lot of the show. There was not a Tuesday stream, but there is a walkthrough of Rapid that I filmed. Not live, obviously, that is up on the channel for channel members and Patreon supporters early. You can find the link on YouTube if you're a channel member or Patreon supporter, or on the Discord if you're a member of the Yacht Club. And it'll be public tomorrow. So if you want to watch it early, there you go. Or you can wait for tomorrow. And then there will be also a video on the, Saturday's video will be on the index, which means it'll be live tomorrow at some point for channel members once I finish editing it. Okay, so we need to build this. So X end stop. So which one's the X? Are all these the same? So they all have arms. So there's only 2 end stops here. So I'm assuming they're the same. On the CNC side of things, have you heard anything about DMC2 Mini? I have not. I have not. Hello from Germany. Guten Abend. Guten Abend. I don't know what I did. I think I pulled something, like reaching over, because a bunch of stuff fell in my car while I was driving home, and I reached over to get it. And I think I like pulled one of the muscles between my ribs. Woke up this morning, it's like, oh. Should the YB49. I only have I have 3 engines, but I bought 3 engines. They were like 16 bucks each Canadian shipped. So I spent like, they were cheap. But I bought 3 motors specifically because I figured I'd use 2 for something, and the 3rd is for testing and in case I break one. So I'm assuming both these are the same length. There we go. Okay. Yeah, they are the same length. Okay. So that is that. You can both go there. There. And we need M2.5. So there is actually a bag full of M2.5 that I haven't opened and spilled everywhere yet. So hopefully I can find that. M2.5 fasteners. Yeah. Now, one of the projects I've been wanting to do for a while is build a 3D printed flying wing type plane. But I want to do it somewhat differently. And I think those blower motors might be a viable alternative to, because actually, before we dive in this, just because I have it here, this is the flying wing. It's not a flying wing, but I just want to see how heavy a normal prop motor is. This is an old thing. Yeah, I'm very scatterbrained today. Very scatterbrained today. Oh, the motor's already mounted. It's already mounted in here. But this is a 2204 2300 kV motor. And the prop is this big. This is for those wondering what this is, it's old. It's an RMC Nano Sky Hunter. But the thing is, props you can get cut on. They're annoying because they're props. You have to, they can break, they can get caught on stuff, they can, you can get cut trying to hand launch it. I've chopped a finger. Luckily, it wasn't too bad with my quadcopters before. It sucks. So I'm like, oh, if we use one of these, if we use these blower motors, maybe they produce enough thrust to fly. We'll see. We'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll figure out another project. So we mount this like that with 2 M2.5 10 millimeters. And this mounts like this, like that. How much has the price of the bamboos gone up? I know they had one price increase. Did they have another one this week, or was it just the one price increase this week? I know the price, they had one price increase. I don't know if they had 2. And have any other 3D printing companies upped their prices yet? It's 2,600 US. 2,600 USD? Damn, Daniel. That's a spicy meatball. It's gone up twice. There's music, it's just not crazy loud. You might not hear it unless you're it's empty and 4 fasteners. Nope. Okay, I need T-nuts. Those are M3 T-nuts. It's an empty bag. It's an empty bag. Those are set screws. have gone up like 500 US. Gee. You know what's funny? I was talking about the tariffs. So I've talked about them a couple times on the channel, and people are like, "Ah, don't talk about politics." I'm like, this isn't really politics anymore. This is like just, this is like straight up like just how it is now. This is whatchamacallit. Economics. Oh, here we go. No, those are M5s. Where are my M4s? Are the M4s part of the ones that I like spilled a whole bag of and now I don't know where they all went? Probably. M410s. That's not an M410, that's an M420. I am missing a bunch of screws out of this kit. I don't know where I put them all. Some of these M4s. Those are M5s. Can I use an M5 here? Will an M5 fit? No, I do need an M4. Shoot. Where did I put the M4s? Right here? Nope, that bag's empty. See, this is why I'm a big fan of, like, if you don't need to use weird oddball size, don't use weird oddball size. Because then you get into conditions like this where it's like, you need an M4, but you only use the M4 for this one little location. Most of the US stock. Well, that's the thing. If it's already in the country, it's okay. If it's already in the country, you don't have to worry about it. The problem is, if it's not in the country yet, the moment it hits the US docks, you got to pay the tariff to release it, and if you don't release it, it gets auctioned off or it goes bye-bye. M38s, standoffs, M34s. Where are my M310s? Or M420. Okay, I don't know where all my M412s, M412. Shoot. I mean, I think I have some. One of these M4s. Yeah, I'll just use one of these. Whatever. Hopefully one of these is long enough. That might work. That won't work. Of course I don't have the right size. Oh, I guess this ain't gonna work. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Shoot! This is why I'm not a fan of using random oddball sizes when you don't need to. Because what happens is you accidentally misplace one and then it's gone. And then if it's gone, you're screwed. Unless you have stock, which I do. I think we're good. I think we're good here. Printing servers not having, well, I mean, all printers are going to go up. Pretty much like the only ones that aren't made in China are what? You got Lulzbot, which, I mean, if you're okay with a printer that, you know, peaked in 2016, design-wise. I mean, don't get me wrong, the newer Lulzbots are more capable than that. It's just the design is from 19-dickety-2. And then you have Prusa now, which they're expanding and upping their manufacturing in the US. So hopefully they'll be fully onshore for most of the US soon. You need to get a Prusa Canada going because the stupid trade deal with the US is gone. So that sucks. So this goes there 20 millimeters from the top. And that goes, which corner is this? That is the back corner. So that goes over here. Education and business. Yeah, Lulzbot is education and business. Like, let's be honest, people aren't buying, or most people, you should not be buying a Lulzbot for your at-home printing needs. It's not a printer for that. Like, it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad printer. Obviously, they've existed as a company way longer than they thought they would, so they're obviously doing something right. But their main book of business has got to be like businesses and educational and whatnot. So. Okay, so 20 millimeters. Did I eyeball that right on? No, I did not. It's like, oh wow, I got it right on, and then it's like, oh wait, my scale is nowhere near. There we go. Okay, 20 millimeters. Also, these parts I think are CF something. They're carbon fiber something. They got carbon fiber, carbon fiber. The whole show. So we're walking around looking at all those. Oh, carbon fiber, carbon fiber. It's all carbon fiber. That's a pretty old video, I think, that I'm referencing there. They filled the gap after MakerBot. I mean, Lulzbot or Ultimaker kind of sucked up that, didn't it? Okay, now we got to put some spacers on. Okay, everyone, channel your inner Ivan Miranda for a moment. We got to put some spacers. Where'd I put the motors? Where'd I actually put the rest of this printer build? Oh, it's in this box. Okay. This box. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so are these motors all the same? 2804 AC, 2804. Yeah, they're all 2804 ACs. Okay. I know he made a treadmill printer. Stop trying to make belt printers happen. It's not gonna happen. Launched out. And for those wondering, these are LDO motors. Give it Lulzbot. Yeah, Lulz, that is something I will, you know, not every printer, there is okay, there's no such thing as a bad printer, as I point at the Tico. There's just printers that are either not priced correctly for their market segment, or they're just not a printer for you, right? Lulzbots are not a printer for me. But if I was running a school or business and I needed a large format machine that had to be made entirely in the US with globally sourced components, and I needed to be able to repair it and it needed to be somewhat open source, and there's a market for it. Especially if you bought into this ecosystem a while ago and you have a bunch of components lying around. So it does exist. It does exist, and it's for some people. Not for everyone, but for some people. And that's okay. Not everything has to be for everyone. It's okay if some things are only for some people or some markets. It's okay. What are these M36s? M36s. I think they're working on my street because I keep hearing a bang on the side. Okay, so Slant 3D. It'll be interesting because people have tried belt printers a lot in the past. If somebody can figure it out, all the power. It's just I'm waiting for somebody to actually figure it out. The biggest problem with belt printing is the fact that you can't normally print on it. Everything designed for FDM, especially everything designed for FDM manufacturing, is designed for the layer lines to be vertical. The moment you take a print and you start printing stuff on a 45, like example, these hex trays. Right now, these are pretty dang strong. But imagine if like your layer lines were like this. This would snap so easily. So you have to also now design your parts to be belt print compatible, which sometimes with geometries you just can't. Just like some things you have to print sideways instead of printing them vertically. It is what it is. It is what it is. Wuxin, is Wuxin still around? Last I heard from Wuxin, there was a lot of weird posts on social media, and then they kind of stopped. I haven't heard from them in a while. Hopefully they're doing okay. I've talked to them at shows a few times, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with Wuxin. But yeah, they seem very much like, let's just build like a Prusa-esque style printer here in the US. And that seemed to be kind of their thing. M3/8s, where are M3? Oh, here we go. M3/6s, there we go. Okay. So we got to screw these on with M3/6s. By the way, for those that don't know, if you're putting on these phalanges, there is they only go one way because there's a cutout that sits around that. Don't put them on like this because it won't sit flat because, yeah, you gotta put them on this way so they sit flat. So yeah, so it's belt printers are tricky. I know a bunch of people, Pooch, from Ripcord, he loves his belt printers, but it's like, you have to get a design that is actually a viable, reliable design. But then also you run into the downside of now you have to be very careful of what you print on it, because it's like, yeah, okay, it's really good if you want to print swords and really long flexi dragons for your Etsy store. But it's like, you can't print Voron parts on it. I have a video on this channel that I made years ago, back when Creality was like, had just announced their belt printer. This was years ago. And I printed a bunch of Voron parts in ABS at a 45 degree, obviously on one of my Vorons because I don't have a belt printer. But I printed a bunch of Voron parts on a 45 degree and like just to test how they would handle. And they're like, they fail. They don't, you don't have the strength. So. None of their parts come from US. Yeah, that's why I say, you know, made in America with globally sourced components. Because let's be honest, there's nowhere in the US you can buy a stepper motor. Does anyone, if you can link me in my Discord right now, a 100% made in America stepper motor. Go. I'm putting out a hunt right now. The bounty is, if I find you at Rocky Mountain, I will give you a high five, okay? And a sticker, if I still have stickers on me. But the goal right now is to go out and find me a NEMA 17 motor that is 100% made in America. Go. Make sure you leave the stream open though. Make sure you leave the stream open though. Just don't tab out. Yeah. Am I going to Rocky Mountain? Yeah. I need to figure out how I'm getting from the airport to the hotel, but I'm going to Rocky Mountain. There we go. So it's very interesting that they are doing the these guys, because I think it was, we had these on the V2.1, I think. I don't know if we had it on the 2.2, but they have these little flanges here that are supposed to be for dampening and whatnot, and to make things quieter and to make things smoother. And we stopped using them on Vorons because they have a tendency to gangsta lean. So it'll be very interesting how they fare on here. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it's going to be very interesting to see how these fare. I don't understand that shirt. Everyone is a maker, only I am a printer. Prusa. It's one of the Prusa mottos. I think it's like a joke on something. I can't remember exactly, but it's like a take on an old saying in 3D printing or something. Either way, I'm not supposed to have this shirt because this is actually like a Prusa employee shirt. I don't work for Prusa. But this actually is a Prusa employee shirt. Carligan produces in America. Is it 100% made in America? No globally sourced components? Because anyone can assemble something in America. Cole Morgan does. Do you have a link for them? And also, how much are these stepper motors? Timit, if you're watching the stream, I would like to if I can get a sponsor for it. It's a year out, so I don't know yet, but that is currently the plan. And that is if you're watching right now. If you're not watching the stream right now, Timit, then I'm not talking to you right now. Anyone could assemble something. I've been to who can assemble. I mean, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here. I mean, like it's like the royal we, right? It's like the royal we. It's like anyone can assemble anything. It's like a generic term. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you can grab any single person off the street and assemble this motor. Oh, we gotta put some heat sinks on these. People are making more money using their coil winders for guitar, bass pickups, and other windy things. I mean, it makes sense. You got to find the market that has a demand for it at your scale, because like motors, they got to be cheap. So you need to do high volume, and depending on what kind of winder you have in the throughput, you might not be able to make enough motor windings in your work hour or your work time for it to be viable. But something more boutique, like guitar stuff, maybe. Giving these a wipe down to make sure the magnet sticks really good. You come to Belgium. I have no plans to go to Belgium anytime soon, but I will keep that in mind. They're going for, oh yeah, well here's the thing, yeah, if they're going to the government, then yeah, they're gonna be pricey. It was funny talking to a few different, because I know people from a bunch of different companies, right? And it's funny talking to them, and it's like every now and then, like, they'll start talking about another industry. It's like, oh, if we can get into that because of the government money. There's so much government money. You go to these shows, like they had a whole section of the show that was basically defense contractors. And it's like, just the dollar signs in their eyes every time. It's like, yeah, but if we do this, oh, we can increase our throughput. We can make this many. Ooh, that's a lot of money. It's like, I will shit talk Uncle Sam to the end of time. But when he pulls out the pocketbook, the less domestic electric motor volume, they'd have a bunch of USA e-bike companies instead of a zillion rebrands. So, I mean, I have a rebranded Chinese electric assisted bike in my garage here that I need to finish assembling so I can film a video on, because it's finally nice out and I can do it without it being snow on the ground. Okay, now I need to squish that, squish that, squish that. Squish that. Okay. I know that's something Cooper from whatchamacallit, the EDM company, what's it called? Shoot, what's it called? Anyways, he's in chat every now and then. Rack Robotics. He like every now and then I see him talking on Twitter about making a winding machine, a motor winding machine. It's like always want to do it, but once you start looking at the scale, it's like, oh, that's a lot of work. See, the next step before installing the motors on the right side of the frame. But what if I want to install them on the left side? Okay, when installing the gantry motors on the right side of the frame, ensure that the bolts match as shown. If not, they will rub against the belts later on. Okay. So they go like that and like that. So now we mount these. I'm guessing the wires go inward, I guess. And I'm assuming the right side of the frame is this side. Okay. So these just go like that. Okay. And M36s. No true US e-bike companies, yet nobody wants to build one. I mean, to be fair, I was riding around on a made in Canada e-bike. Like, here, 1 second here. They had a 100% made in Canada e-bike. Well, other than some electronics, at the show. Here, let me find it here. Rep TCT. View. Icons. Which one is it? I think it's this one. So it actually goes 40 miles an hour. It wants to go. Like when you turn the handle, it. By the way, that is 100% 3D printed. Other than electronics and the bolts and whatnot, like the screws, that is 100% 3D printed. And yes, it's Pantheon. And yes, I want to build one. And yes, I'll probably be building one. So if you're wondering why the bike I was working on didn't come to fruition, it's because Pantheon started working on that, and I'm like, I might just build that one instead. Yeah. More metal screws, please. This Allen key. I need to clean up all my Allen keys. I gotta find all my Allen keys. They're all in place. I got like 4 things of Allen keys, and they're all missing the 2.5mm Allen key. Oh, guess I'll just use this. That'll work. ABS? No, it's a. We'll just say it's a nylon-based carbon fiber for now. Nylon-based carbon fiber and glass filled for now. How does the new one compare to mine? It's bigger. Mine is 300 by 300 by 300. The new one is 400 by 400 by 300, but the footprint of the machine is only about an inch bigger. So hopefully it'll still fit on my desk. We'll find out. It's also 200 pounds versus the 170 pounds, so I'm not looking forward to taking this off the desk and swapping it out. So it's basically kind of like, okay, actually I got a very good example. This is a Voron 2.2. Their new printer is a Voron 2.4. And if that makes sense to you, then that should explain pretty well what I mean. Do I have kilos of carbon fiber nylon running around? Don't you? But essentially there is, I filmed a video with them, so there will be a full video with the Pantheon, and I think Joel also just did a video with them too. But TLDR, they basically took everything they learned with this machine and designed the new machine from scratch. So it's kind of like how the Voron 2.2, while it was still a good machine, the 2.4 is a much better machine because we took everything we learned getting to the 2.2, threw out the CAD and started over, and that became the 2.4. That's what the HS Pro is essentially. It's what the machine is if you were to design it from scratch using everything you learned from the previous iteration. Okay, so I need to do that. Yeah, like here, just for a little teaser. These are 8-minute speed benchies.
B-roll shot, good old B-roll shot. See, I get.
So these are 8-minute benchies, speed benchies done in carbon fiber nylon. And they're done in 8 minutes. Just done sequentially. So 250,000 KXL. 250,000 Excel is what it can do. So, yeah. So it'll do 250,000 Excels. That's the default. Now that's what during travel moves. Obviously you're not doing those Excels during print moves, but during travel moves and other moves that, you know, just get from A to B. Thing with a lead screw. Well, that's why it's not a lead screw, it's a ball screw. They're ball screws, they're not lead screws. How many Excels? Many Excels, several Excels to be precise. There is a plethora of Excels. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this motor because I want this like this. But those gotta be that, so I gotta spin this. Okay. Howdy from Texas. Buongiorno. Yeehaw, partner. Steak, whiskey, mesquite. Dang gung it. I don't know. Pivot. Put back together. There's a point where you're not using ball screws no more. I mean, ball screws can move pretty quick. Like that machine's can do easily over a meter a second travel. Also, this is something that I did not realize a 3D printer should have with Klipper. Don't worry, this is getting PR'd back because they're using modified Klipper for their machine, but they're following all the open source rules. This is something that I didn't realize was nice until I saw it in action. You could just move the tool head around using the screen. And you can raise and lower the bed too. You just drag it around. You don't have to sit there and tap a button a million times like a Neanderthal. You can just move it over there, move it over there, move it to the front, drag and drop, move the bed up, move the bed down. It is so freaking nice. They're like, yeah, we realized we should probably have this. And I'm like, why does nobody else do this? Like, oh, nobody else was bothered to make it. And I'm like, well, that should be part of Klipper soon. That should be in Klipper at some point. So that and more will be in next week's video. What I'll probably do is tomorrow's video is going to be the walkthrough from Rapid. That video is already on. It's up early for channel members and supporters if you don't want to wait. So that video will be Saturday. Tomorrow it will go up early for a Sunday release of the index video. So I think Joe saw that. I know some other people. They kept bringing people over to show that off, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is cool." Okay, so we've done that. So we've put the motors on. Now we need an M510 and an M5 nut. Where did I put these? Where are those parts? Where are those parts? Right. More design work gets on like a voice coil. Yep. I mean, they're using ClearPass servos. They're using ClearPass servos for their motion system. We talk about it in the video, and I might be going out to visit them in the relatively near future to film a more straight up sit down deep dive on like the whole design process of a machine like that, which I'm really looking forward to. So They come up with this. I don't know if they came up with it exactly, but they made the whole thing work with Klipper. So I don't know if they straight up invented having a screen where you can move it around like that. If like, I'm sure it exists in other motion systems, but they're like, how come Klipper doesn't have this? And they made it work with Klipper, so. So I got to pre-make a bunch of these. So we are putting an M10 with an M5. Multi-tool version? From my understanding, no. At this time, no. Because it is ball screw, doing multi-tool with ball screw, doing like an index or a tool changer, it's quite a bit of work. They would have to like basically redesign everything, and their customers aren't really demanding it because I will leak another part of the video. See, you guys are basically going to get a free view of the whole video before I edit it. But put it this way, there's all your supports, right? Oh, we need soluble supports because this material, you know, we have to dissolve the supports because otherwise removing the support. Oh wait, the supports just fall right off and that part is perfect. Like, when I say their machine is tuned for their filament, their machine is tuned for their filament. So, but yeah, their customers aren't really requesting that. So, okay, so we got that, and now keep the orange stoppers in place to prevent. So find the rail brackets onto the two long M410s. Fix onto the fourth hole from the end with M36s. Okay. Now comes the part where I go, I've dropped quite a few M36s and hopefully I still have some. I don't think I do though. I think I'm out of M36s because I might have dropped too many. M38s. I mean, I could probably use M38s, let's be honest. Probably not that big of a deal. M36s, M36s. Yeah, I am all out of M36s because I dropped a bunch. So let me go dig it in my stock and see what we got. And go from there. So I need the two long ones, which are these two. Stock. What do we got in stock? M36s. Get the Hoover out. No, you need one of those little magnetic thingamabobbers. Do I have M36s? Oh shit. I mean, I'll probably just use M38s. I'll be honest, M38s are probably fine. Let me see. Let me see my little. Little storage units. Nope. What are you? M3? M36s. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The feature in the Prusa Connect. Cool. Base unit Tormach machine, but again, how much is someone willing to spend on their home shop? Oh, I would love to have a Tormach, but not happening anytime soon. So I made a plastic that instead of becoming microplastic actually dissolves into something harmless when it meets seawater. I mean, that's cool and all, but how quickly does it break down? And two, what are you printing that if you get it wet, it will dissolve? Like, it's salt water, right? Salt water is pretty, like, water and moisture are a thing. I'd be worried about whatever I print just falling apart. So 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then put that in. Two, three, four. It's like even people, like even PLA takes forever. We're talking Like PLA takes forever to break down. Like you're not composting PLA anytime soon. Who was it Stefan that did a video where he put a bunch of PLA prints in like a composter and left them for like over a year and nothing happened basically? So fix the 2 brackets out of the 2 long ones like that. Okay, so both of them, I guess. Okay. I mean, I've just accepted the fact that 99.9% of everything I 3D print is going to end up in a landfill. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not okay with it, but I accept it. Okay. I'm not going to super tighten them because we're probably going to have to like let them locate. Mounting the rails. How do these mount? They mount to the front and the back. Mount the rails on the inside of the top and frame. There should be equal distance between the edge of the rails and the ground around and the frame. About 30 millimeters. Okay, so these just mount. How do these mount? Did I put these together the right way? Yeah, that goes like that, and that just... Oh, they do face downward. Okay. Okay. Just go like that. Okay. Here. I don't think we're gonna get a good view. We're not gonna get a good view on that. They just kind of go into the side. And it's about 30 millimeters on each side. Okay. So who here has seen the Minecraft movie? Who here has seen the Minecraft movie? Who here has seen the Minecraft movie? Is it as bad as I've heard? Is it as bad as I've heard? Funny but bad. They were out of popcorn buckets, so it was sad. Aw. Will the rails flex if mounted like that? Probably not. Just wondering if it's worth taking the little guy because he's still kind of young. Like he knows of Minecraft, but he's never played it. He's just like watched people play it. Great for kids, not for adults. Okay. Have you seen the picture? It's like a meme where it's like that picture from the guy from Mad Men who's in the movie theater like smoking like cinema. And it's like my 6-year-old kid when I take him to the Minecraft movie. It's like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, I know I'm okay with dumb humor as long as it's funny. It's got to be funny. What Russell said? What did Russell say? Green Tech make motors in Canada, but I don't know if they're fully domestically sourced. Yeah, I'm sure there are like sources for stepper motors in Canada, in the US. I'm sure there are domestic manufactured. The problem is, you're not going to get thousands of them for 10 bucks a pop. That's the problem. You're not going to overnight be able to change the entire supply chain for all FDM machines in the United States or sold in the United States to use domestically manufactured components at anywhere near the same cost overnight. And then like, ain't no company is going to spend billions of dollars, no automotive company is going to spend billions of dollars to build a brand new factory that only serves the US domestic market when in 3 years and 9 months, another government comes in and reverses all the tariffs. There's no point. There's no point. So it just kind of, well, suck it up for the prices for now. Sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, the de minimis thing is going to suck for you guys. So there goes Temu. Install the gantry onto the rails. Okay, so we've mounted both of these. And now we mount the gantries with that. Which way did they go? Okay, so this goes. So we got the one bearing up, and it faces away from the sheet. Okay. This is going to hurt for you. Bulk order. I mean, did you see the thing where freaking, what was it? Apple chartered 5 cargo planes to fly iPhones out before the tariffs hit. Like, they chartered cargo planes just to mass export iPhones out before the tariffs hit. 1, 2, 3. Domestic production of 3D printers ever going to match China? You'll never match China prices, but I mean, look at Prusa. Prusa's EU. As far as I'm aware about, Prusa has an article on their site, a blog post. They are about 30% reliant on China. There are certain things they still get from China because you really can't. Like, for example, the stepper motors. They make the PCBs in-house, but they do the SMT component. So they assemble the PCBs in-house, but the actual like PCB wafer, I think, is still China. Like they try to make everything they can in-house, but certain things either just due to logistics, you can't get a local supplier, or it's just the local suppliers cost too much. They are still like 30% reliant on China, which for an EU company, like considering the Core 1 is price comparable to a Prusa, or I mean, one second here. So assembled, $11.99. Oh, $1,500 for an X1 now. How much is a P1? I mean, a P1 is $800. It is only $150 more for a Prusa Core 1 kit than a P1 now. Jeez. Oof. Oof. That's a spicy meatball. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Yeah, well, I mean, the A1s. How much are the A1s then? How much are the A1s? A1 Mini is $350, and the A1 is $500? It's $500 for an A1 now. For 500, dude, those Centauri carbons and oh shit. Now here's the thing, ready? So this is 500. So let's, okay, so H2D is now 2,400. 2,400. Oh wait, no, what's the CAD price? Okay, so 2,400 US. In Canada, it is 2,600, so. $18. So this is, so it's $1,900 Canadian. So in Canada, it's $1,900. It's $400. It's $500 more than the US. It is $500 US cheaper to buy a Bamboo H2D here. So just so you're aware, Crazy Canucks, 3D printer, emporium, and room running distribution center may be opening in the next couple months. So put your orders in now if you need something airdropped or floated across the river over the next little bit. There will be some commission fees included, but I guarantee you it will be a little bit less than paying Uncle Sam outright. We'll make something happen. We'll make something happen. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. I know the Centauri carbons aren't shipping for a while, but it's a percentage thing. So since they're cheaper, the price is going to go up, but it's still going to be like, even like 359 USD, 249 CAD. Oof. Also, I'm pretty sure, like, if it's in country already, you're good. So if you hit up Micro Center, you can probably find some still on sale. So, or not on sale, but at least find some at normal price. See you on the Ambassador Bridge. I mean, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Detroit Become Human on stream. I'm playing it and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not how the map is. This isn't how Detroit looks. You want a trip somewhere? Well, that's the thing. They announced they're going to delay pre-orders of Switch 2 in Canada the same as the US because they're worried about, you know, Americans just ordering them to Canada and shipping them south to skip the tariffs. Which I didn't have plans to get a Switch 2. I think it's a little overpriced at this time, and also there's no real games that I think are really worth paying the early adopter tax for. It's the Switch 2, in my opinion, is too much to be it's just a better Switch impulse buy, and there's not enough games, or at least there's no games that I think are worth the early adopter price. So. Wait for the OLED refresh. Or you wait for the OLED refresh and buy the last year's model on sale. Then again, it's Nintendo. None of their stuff ever goes on sale, which sucks. It's like, oh, you want to buy Breath of the Wild? That'll be $79.99. Put your credit card in now. Although I finally did break down and order a new phone yesterday, so. No more Pixel 6 with a broken USB-C port. Okay, there we go. So now we have our x-axis. Voila. Behold, the x-axis. End stop alignment check. When the gantry slid all the way to the right, it should bump the end stop as shown. Let me unplug this. Okay, but I don't want to. Okay, hopefully this doesn't come off the end. Okay, it hits the end stop. We're good. Put these little nubbins back on so it doesn't go flying off. There we go. It does prevent it from flying off, like the it hits, where is it? Right there. So it doesn't fly off. It does hit the end stop, which prevents it flying off the end. But I'm gonna leave the nubbins on for now. And now we put this rail on, mount the final MGN9 with M3/8. Okay. And I'm assuming we just kind of center it. So 3 and 3. Okay. So you want to know what sucks? You want to know what sucks? I have been waiting on patch Where did I put the M3/8s? Uh-oh. Yeah, here we go. M3/8s. I've been waiting on patch 8 for Baldur's Gate 3 for months now because I've been wanting to do a new playthrough. And I was like, you know what? I finally broke down. I'm like, I'm going to do a playthrough. I'm just going to do a fun playthrough, right? I'm just going to do a fun playthrough. I'm going to play with a bunch of characters I normally don't keep in my party, and I'm going to play something I normally don't play. I'm going to play a halfling wizard. So I made my character up the other day, and I started playing. And I'm still in Act 1. I only play a couple hours a night, right? Just something to relax with before bed kind of thing. Play a couple hours or whatnot. So I started the playthrough. It's going pretty good. And then they announced patch 8 today. And it's like, well, I guess we're not finishing that character. Because it's like, I only started this character to kill time until the new patch comes out. Because if you don't know, the patch 8 on Baldur's Gate adds a new classes, new subclass to every class. And I was going to use it as an excuse to play through a way I haven't played yet with a bunch of characters I haven't. And so it's like, well, I guess we're waiting. So that's coming out next week. So that's what I'll be doing next week. So maybe we'll do that on Twitch because I know we never finished the last playthrough on Twitch. So maybe we'll give it another go or something. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's coming on the 15th. Should be good, hopefully. All my mods are going to break. All my mods are going to break. But it is what it is. But he's still... No, I could play the save I started, but the problem is, like, I only started this save to kill time. And it's like, well... Because the moment the patch comes out, it's like, well, shoot, I want to play, like, the new races and whatnot. It's like, and yeah, you can respec your character, but it doesn't fit the role-playing aspect of the character I just made. There we go. Okay. One critique I will have with this kit, Maker Tech, if you're watching, screw quality needs some improvement. The quality of screws for this kit is a little... I'm not liking them. I'm really stripping a lot of screws. The stainless steel screws are... They could be better. But I'm not saying it's your thing. I'm assuming you just went, oh, let's do stainless steel screws, and this is what we got. And the thing is, stainless steel screws kind of suck unless you get really high quality ones. They tend to just be weak, I find. So I'm gonna be rating my stock. I know stainless steel screws look cool, they're shiny. Just get black oxide screws. They tend to be the most forgiving. And also, avoid cap screws, or avoid button heads. Button head cap screws, no, just use cap screws. Okay, mount the... Okay, but which way does it go? Which way is the front? Which way is the front? Okay, I'm assuming these are all from the same orientation, but I would like to have a reference to see which way this is facing. I'm assuming this is the same orientation as this, so that this side doesn't have... I'm referencing everything off of the plate. There's a big old plate on one side. The other side doesn't have the plate. So I'm looking here, I'm like, okay, no plate side, fins towards the no plate side. So that goes like that. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pull up flight radar real quick because there is a lot of shit flying around my house today, and I don't know why. I know button heads are needed in some places for clearance reasons, but it's like one of those, try to avoid it as much as possible. Why are there a bunch of Bombardier planes flying around my house? Oh, that's weird. I live under a flight path for an Air National Guard base, so every now and then we get like A-10s flying over my house. But it was really weird the other day when there was a whole flight of Ospreys flying over my house, and I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Cap screws. This is a button head screw. This is a cap head screw. Simple as that. So these screws, these are cap head screws. Cap head screws are nice because you have more purchase of your tool on it when you tighten it. With button heads, because the head is shallower, especially if you're using like a ball end Allen key, you don't have a lot of surface contact when you do that tightening, and you can strip the screw very easily. Strip the socket on the screw really easily. Flathead is kind of a little bit better, but the problem with flathead is it's tapered. It's got a V shape. It's meant to sit in a countersink or counterbore. I can never remember which one's which. Which one's counterbore again? Counterbore's flat bottom, right? Countersink is conical. Yeah, countersink is conical. Counterbore is flat bottom. So when you go to tighten them with a cap head screw, you get more purchase on it than a button head screw. So you can torque them a little bit better. And when you're buying thousands of cheap screws to fill out your kit, you're less likely to run into quality issues. So you can kind of get away with using cheaper screws with cap heads because you have more material. I can't believe now the Prusa Core 1 is cheaper than an X1. Like last week it was like $100 more for the X1, and now the Core 1 is cheaper by quite a bit for the assembled version. Okay, so this, take extra care when tightening not to strip the aluminum. So this is the master plate, M2.5, and a M2.5 spacer. M2.5 fasteners. Where are the spacers? Some earlier. Nuts. Where'd those spacers go? I saw them earlier. Are they in here? I mean, there's two little spacers, but they're not long spacers like this, unless those are in an, oh, they might be in another container. 1 second. That might not be with the screws. Might not be with the screws. They might be with the back plate. Because I saw them, but I'm like, where did I see them at? They do exist somewhere. I just gotta find them. Yeah, that's without the AMS. That's without the AMS. It's that much more. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so here's the plate. Are you in here? No. Are you in here? No. Uh-oh. No, that's a... No, that's wiring. The joy of having everything I've thrown in the garbage be on top here because it's a fresh bag. I am missing spacers because we need M2.5 by 35, which I have in here. M2.5 by 35, so I got those. And then I've got 2 little spacers, but I need standoffs. Like, I need long boys. Okay, let's take a look here. I got this guy. Load of wires back in the box. Get rid of that. Did I drop a bag? Nope. Okay, let's see here. Could have sworn I saw some long spacers earlier. Okay, so I don't see any spacers in here. This is why I don't like screw bags that you can't reseal. Because once you open them, they tend to just start losing stuff everywhere. No. So this has spacers, but these are little short plastic ones. No. No. No, no, no. Oh, here we go. Here they are. Found them. Watcher from the UK. Buongiorno. Chip Cheerio. The H2D is more expensive than the 5 toolhead XL Plus enclosure. Really? I mean, fully kitted out. Fully kitted out. Like, I'll be honest, at the prices there are, unless you need a large format or a larger format, I wouldn't call the H2D a large format machine. It's more of it's a large machine, but it's under 350. So it's big, but it's not, you know, I wouldn't call it a large format machine. For me, like a large format machine is like 400. Anything from like the 250 to 350 size is like standard, in my opinion. Over 350 is large when it comes to a printer nowadays, I think. It's hard to say. I don't know, it depends on your use case, but at its size, especially at its cost, if you just need a larger machine, like to print helmets, I really don't think it's worth it. I think it only starts to make sense if you need a large machine to do multicolor prints reliably. Then it starts to make a bit of sense, in my opinion. So if you get it with like, how does this go? This goes this way, and these come in from the back. Okay. So like if you need a larger machine to do multicolor prints, okay, it makes sense, I think, at that point a bit, or at least a bit more. But if you, beyond that, I really don't, it is so hard to justify at that price. Because there are other machines that you can get that are big if you just need to print big. And you get multiple of them for the same price. Heck, you can almost get an Orange Storm for the, or how much is an Orange Storm Giga? They've got to have worked the bugs out by now, right? And then 2 M36s from the top. Let's screw the top ones in first. What time are we at anyways? Okay. I will say my voice is actually holding up much better than I thought, but my legs are freaking exhausted. Spend 3 days walking around a trade show and then, oh, just stand at a desk. That My legs, my calves are killing me. So we'll see. Oh, frick. I just stripped that. I just stripped that. I just stripped that. I just stripped that. It's Nikes. Okay, 1 second here. Let me see. Hopefully I stripped it in a way I can salvage it. Where did I put the other M3 screw? 1 second here. I think that was a screw that stripped. That was a screw that stripped. Okay. I think that was the screw that stripped, not the... I think it was the screw. I'm hoping it's the screw that stripped. Hopefully we don't need that M35 anywhere else. Hopefully that's an extra. It really doesn't want to bite. That really doesn't want to thread in too well. Well, it is what it is. I mean, I can always Loctite it if I need to. Just clamp it and Loctite it. Make it work. I'll fix it later. Yeah, cover the H2T with a piece of tape yet? Oh, yes. The H2T, for those that don't know, will detect if it doesn't have a nozzle installed or if it's a nozzle without the QR code on it, but it is a button you can override. So it does watch what nozzle you have in it. And if it's not an approved nozzle, it flashes a warning, but you have the option to skip it. So I'm okay with that. Rather not see it, but it is what it is. Okay. Plug the USB cable from the top of the eddy bed scanner probe right under the, what? Oh, it has an eddy. Okay. So let me fix this because I gotta kind of do some hodgepodging here because I don't want to start assembling this tool head with a screwed up connector. Where did I put the red Loctite? We've got super glue Loctite. I had Loctite. Where'd I put it? Put it over here. Really? Where'd I put the Loctite? Seriously? Where'd I put it? No, it didn't fall. I had a thing of blue Loctite, like, well, it's blue Loctite in a red container. I had it right here. Did I put it in a drawer? Because what I'm going to do is try and fix this slightly not good connection here. That's regular Loctite. And by Loctite in this, oh, and did I put it in here? On here. Loctite. Loctite. No, that's all Haribos. Loctite. So when you accidentally strip a screw, and this is on me, the manual says to be careful here because it's very easy to strip the metal, which I did. So we're gonna try and kind of do a little bit of shenanigans here. We're gonna try and do a little bit of shenanigans here and see if I can fix this. So unfortunately, that's stripped right out. That's M2.5. Can I open it to a 3? I don't think I can open it to a 3. I don't think a 3 will fit through that. Yeah, 3 won't fit through that. So I can put a little bit of Loctite on that, screw it in, clamp it tight, and then hopefully, no, it's Loctite. Well, Vibratight. So I don't know where the actual thing of Loctite that they gave me with this kit is. It's in a red bottle, and I have like a million red bottles, and I don't know where it went because I'm like colorblind. I'm very blind to stuff right in front of my face. Halted production, laid off employees at Ingersoll. Ooh, that's not good. This is gonna hurt a lot of people. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna put you here because it's gonna make a mess. Because I think this is really wet. Okay. So, this is what we're gonna do. First, I need to get a clamp. I need a clamp. So unfortunately, this is gonna put a little dampener on the rest of the build, by the way. So this might halt us for the day in terms of building because I gotta fix this. Okay. Oh wow, that's right stripped. Yeah, that's right stripped. That is right stripped. I've done this before in molds. Don't tell my boss. I mean, not that I care. I think it was a Tesla mold, but whatever. But don't tell you. Nobody tell Elon. There we go. And then we just let that dry. Just let it dry. As long as we don't have to take the screw out, we're good. I mean, I could have just said yes to the company that wanted to send me a really shitty welder. I mean, I did say yes to them, but they never got back to me, so I'm kind of disappointed. Because I could have gone with using a really shitty welder here. Or I could have followed the instructions and not overly tightened it. Because the other option I had, if I probably do, if I have an M2.5 tap somewhere. I mean, I'm sure there's an M2.5 tap in here somewhere. It's just, I don't want to dig for it. Because another option you can do, and I've done it before, it's harder with the smaller sizes, is basically like, if you have like really bad thread, you can use something like a Bondo or like a JB Weld or something, and kind of like, you smear that in the hole, you let it harden, and then you drill it back out for tap drill size, and then you run a tap through it. And it's like, it's not the best way to do it. You really shouldn't do it. Done it. Dude, I've been getting so many offers from companies that, like, on behalf of like Creality for like the laser and like the K2 right now, it's insane. And like, it's been insane. It's like, I just checked my inbox, I got another one. Spam. Creality collab. This is Sam from Zbanks, a marketing company currently representing Creality. Yeah, you're from partnership at 516994.0.brevosend.com. Yeah, legit, totally legit. Did you decide when you want to do with the new laser you got from them? I have no idea. It's sitting here in a box. I mean, if I give it away, it's got to be somewhere local, obviously. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I think it's the exact same. Yeah, it's a 22 watt model. It's the exact same laser they already sent me. I guess that's the thing with Creality where they'll just send people stuff. It's like, I already have it. Yeah, totally legit. Can't bring it to Rocky. I mean, I might, that Rocky Mountain, no, I'm flying. I'm flying. I'm not bringing a printer. I'm flying. Yeah, totally fake. Okay, so unfortunately we're kind of kiboshed where we're at right now because I stripped a screw and I'm trying to glue it back together. Trying to hodgepodge it. I'm hoping there's enough material there. I mean, I could always peen it. That's another thing you can do. You can kind of peen it. Forward it to Sam Prentice. He's in the UK. It would cost me like hundreds of bucks to send it to him. Helicoil. Helicoil would work if I had helicoils. I mean, I can always tap it to it. I can always, you know, if, you know, worst comes to worst, you just open it up to another tap size, right? Like this is 1.25 inches. We can always just open it up. Open. I mean, if that's too big, I do have 1 inch. That's not even a big tap. I'll be honest, that's not even a big tap. You do not know hell until it is the night before a tool ships to the customer and there's a common plate for all the hydraulics. So the entire time you've been running the tool in your shop, you've just had a direct hookup for the hydraulic line directly on the mold. But the customer uses a special common plate. So all the plumbing goes into this separate plate and it has like a big manifold that connects. So all the hydraulics and all the water hook up to that. And it's the night before the tool ships to the customer and machining finally got you the plate you're supposed to mount. And it is 1 in the morning, you're done at 3 in the morning, you've already been working for 9 hours, but this tool has to ship in the morning. The truck's gonna show up at 5 a.m. to ship. And so you put the block on and you start freaking mounting everything. And then you realize, oh shoot, the 2.5 inch NPT plug doesn't plug, because they didn't cut it properly. They circle milled it, and they circle milled it effed up because it's MPT, and the guy cutting it doesn't understand MPT is tapered, and you have to go deeper than you would for a normal tap because it's tapered, right? National Pipe Thread, it's tapered. So it's 2.5 inch MPT, which is bigger than 2.5 inch, and you got to chase the thread manually on a plate mounted on a tool sideways. So you get your 8-foot pipe wrench and you put 10-foot pipes on the end and you just start bending shit. It sucks. Don't ever use a crane to tap something. I'm not saying I've done it. I'm just telling you not to do it. Don't ever use a crane to tap something. No, we broke the breaker bar. We broke the 6-foot tap handle before we found the 8-foot tap handle. Trying to polish up the bottom of this hex piece here. A lot of people don't know about National Pipe Thread taper. Yeah, it's tapered. A lot of people don't realize that's how a lot of that stuff seals. It's tapered and then you use like Teflon or pipe dope or something. So I'm wondering, because I got this from EOS. So this is, obviously it's 3D printed copper and it's gyroid infill. So if I sand this bottom here really flat, and if I solder it to like a copper plate so it's even flatter and then sand that, this would probably make a pretty good heat sink. You have trouble tapping M5, M6 in aluminum? I mean, grab my... I mean, you got, I made this guy so that I could put pipes on the end of it to make it a bigger tap handle. I have a bunch of tap handles. I don't know where they all went. I think I ended up misplacing a bunch of them when I moved. I mean, like, it's where I keep my Allen keys, my real Allen keys. Yeah, I don't really have a bunch of that stuff left. I used to have, yeah, I don't think I have it in here. I used to have a T-handle this long for M12 because we built one mold that required a T-handle that long to unscrew a lifter. And it was the stupidest thing ever. I smacked the engineer when I saw him. Are they from Sweden? Those ones did not come with my IKEA furniture, unfortunately. I don't think. Just tapping small side. Julian, you want to know what's scary? Or you want to know what really sucks? Hey, it's a quiet afternoon. So instead of sending you home, this tool ships tomorrow to the customer, and the customer has all the plaques on a mold. So you have like plaques that have like, you know, the water circuits and like the pinouts for the electrical plugs and whatnot, the sensors. So you have like a plaque book on most molds. Usually it's anywhere from like 6 to 12 plaques. And they just sit in a little book. So you drill 2 holes and they just sit on a bracket, and they're metal, right? They're printed on metal. It's metal on a mold. And so you flip through the plaque book. And so it's like Friday afternoon. It's slow. It's noon. Normally you're done at 3. And the boss comes by and he's like, hey, so instead of sending you home early on a Friday, the customer that we're shipping this mold to tomorrow, they don't want a plaque book. They want all the plaques mounted individually on the side of the mold. Their standard is that all plaques are mounted on the mold individually, not in a plaque book. Okay, some customers are like that. But they also have a standard that they're not allowed to be riveted on. Normally you would just drill a hole and just slam an aluminum rivet in and call it a day, right? Because there's like, you just mush it in there and you're good to go. No, they require them to be tapped. M3. So drill and tap M3. They also require that each plaque is held on with 4 screws. You can't just kitty corner it. So drill and tap 4 holes for each of the 12 plaques and tap them M3. Okay, 4 times 12, so that's 48 holes. Drill and tap 48 holes on the side of a mold. By the way, the mold is hardened H13. The mold is hardened to H13. It's like ready to ship, so it's H13 and it's post-hardening. The mold's done. Yeah, drill and tap 48 holes, M3, in hardened H13. I was working on that job on Saturday. Let's just say by the end, I eventually, I was very smart at first. I went over to the machine and got a carbide drill bit. And then I broke it. And then I broke another one. Let's just say, normally you do like 75% thread. So what you would normally do is, you know, if it's like, you know, you drill tap drill size. So usually it's like, is it 75%? I know you normally go to like two down on the chart. So you have like thread engagement, right? So if it's a 1-inch hole, you drill it like, what's the tap drill size? Tap drill size percentage. What is it again? I can't remember the exact. Like, for example, if you have to drill like a 1-inch, you know, let's just find an easy one. For a 10 mil, you drill like 8.7 millimeters, right? So for you know, a 10 mil coarse thread, you drill 8.7 millimeters, okay? So it's like 2 down or something like that. So yeah, M3 would be 2.5 millimeters. Let's just say I found a drill bit that was like 2.9 millimeters. There was like barely any thread engagement. So what I did was, I swear, I might as well have just taken like a piece of cardboard and just scratched threading into these holes that I drilled, and they were all fucked up. They were all fucked up. So what I did was I drilled them all. Took forever to drill them all because they're already in H13 and drilling 2.5, and I eventually got a bigger size. I tapped them. There was barely any thread engagement, and then every hole just got a big dollop of red Loctite. So I just red Loctite all the holes, put the plaque on, screw them all in, wipe off all the excess Loctite, ship it. That's a customer's problem now. Can't remember what customer that was. I think it was it Flexing Gate? I can't remember. It was one of the companies that builds molds for, or does production for a lot of different companies, so. We didn't use green. We either used blue or red. And red was like, only use it if you know what you're doing with it. For those that don't know red Loctite, you need to torch it to get it to be weak again. Okay, you guys want to do a giveaway? Should I? What's this? You know what? I'm gonna let this set because I really want this to be strong. So I think we're gonna call it here. I am kind of actually really tired from the week. So again, we're gonna do the giveaway now. We'll continue with this next Friday. Tuesday will be actual Box Turtle Tuesday. I know. We'll actually be able to do the box turtle on Tuesday. And then tomorrow's stream, we'll do some faffing about with a side project. We'll work on that or something. Who screwed up in the case? What case? Oh, Steve, it wasn't really a screw up. Technically, the PM should have known about this and requested that the tool go to, like the last time the tool was on a machine, that machining would drill and tap all those holes pre-hardening. Because you use hardened H13 because you use H13 unhardened. Usually it's like lens molds, and there's certain molds you want to like anything like a glass-filled polypro, for example. That shit is abrasive as hell. So you want to use like a hardened tool steel for the mold, especially like the cavity. Or if it's a lens mold, you want to use a hardened material because it just holds up a lot better for polishing reasons and whatnot. So anyways, I think it was a lens mold. Pretty sure it was a lens mold. So anyways, what it should have happened is the project manager should have known that this was the company standard and should have put it in the design document that holes for these plaques, because the plaques are always a nominal size. So the spacing's all known and everything. And the plaques were in the CAD. They just didn't put the thing in the design doc to have machining design in the holes for the plaques so that when it was on a machine pre-getting hardened, the holes got drilled and tapped essentially. So yeah. Yeah, but what's hardened H13? H13 rock. Yeah, so when you harden H13, it gets up to, up to 53. Couldn't you anneal it? Yeah, but the mold's done. Like, I'm not gonna anneal a mold to put M3 plaque screws in. Like, you'd have to do like a full process weld. Like, that's way too much work. Like, if the mold had to get machined again, it would have to get welded, full process welded, and then machined, because you have to anneal it. Like, one of the most expensive fuck-ups I've ever seen when I worked at the tool shop was the Mustang. So, cool story here. Here's a fun thing. We're gonna do a little Q&A here. I'm gonna put this out here, and I'm gonna see if anyone can figure out what happened. So, we are building a mold. This is for the rear diffuser on a Mustang, I believe it was. So, big mold. The mold itself was about as big as my table here. So the actual, like, the core itself is probably about 3 or 4 feet by about 6 to 8 feet. It was a pretty big mold. So it gets all machined, gets hand worked flat, right? So people go in with, like, you know, stones and emery paper and whatever. They make it all flat. They do tryouts. Okay, comes back for tryout. The tool gets shipped to. For the handwork, we didn't do the handwork ourselves. We shipped the mold to another shop to do the handwork on the tool. So mold leaves the shop, people at another place make it all nice and shiny and smooth, comes back, we do tryouts. Hey, the tryouts are good, the parts are good. Now we're gonna send it out for etching. So if you don't know what acid etching is, essentially they lay down like a template over the metal. So they mask off all the areas that they don't want acid etched, and then they put a template over the metal, and then they cover it with an acid. They usually dip it in an acid bath, actually. And the acid eats away the metal. Now, the template basically prevents it from eating away certain areas, but this is how you get like that, either a hexagon finish, or like, in this case, it was a hexagon finish, but you know, like your dashboard house has that fake leather look, but it's plastic. They acid etch that pattern in. That's how it gets done. They're acid etched in. So you have this giant, literally the size of a front fascia. It's a rear diffuser. It's, you know, it's a big part. It gets all acid etched and it comes back and there are spots all over it. right in the middle, there's like 5 or 6 in a row areas where you can visibly see the acid did not eat it away. What happened? So the acid ate it away, but it didn't eat it away as much as other areas. So it's very obvious, essentially high spots kind of thing. So you have like the acid eats down like 2 millimeters, but there's like 5 or 6 little ovalish kind of, maybe, you know, the size of your thumb areas where the acid only ate down like half as much. Not fingerprints, nope, it was all cleaned properly. Not oil, not oil. The acid would eat through the oil anyways. You have to do a full clean. It's not a grease issue. Acids eat away metals. And we had sent this out for handwork. Wasn't a casting defect. Close though. Close though. It had nothing to do with cleanliness. Nothing to do with cleanliness. Inclusions in the metal. You're getting close. Easy Monk got it. Easy Monk got it. What had happened was somebody on like the afternoon shift at the shop that was handworking it, somebody dropped a tool, a hammer or something, in the mold and dinged it. And either they did it without telling anyone. We never actually found out what happened. But either they fixed it, or they got somebody to like, hey, just get the welder over here and just quickly weld it up and I'll just handwork it flat. Now, on a normal mold, if you were just going for a flat surface, that probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, especially if it's on like the cavity side. So like the inside of the part, not the visible part of the stuff, because the cavity is the part where like you see. The core is like the inside part where you have like the date wheel and like the ejector pins push off. So the inside, nobody cares. But the cavity, that's the part you see. So what happened was somebody dinged the mold up. They dropped a tool in it. That's why there was multiple parts going ding, ding, ding. And they just welded it and then hand worked it flat. The problem is when you weld is harder than metal. Like weld is hard. It's a different type of metal. So even if you weld it with, you know, it's P20 tool steel and you use P20 rod, the weld will be harder than the surrounding area. So because it was harder in the areas where they welded, the acid didn't eat it away, and it was very noticeable. They spent about 2 days doing meetings, talking to Ford, well, not Ford, the company that was going to be running this mold for Ford, but Ford was involved. The other company was involved, the other mold shop was involved, and they had about 2 days of meetings between people that make way more money than me, trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to do here. Essentially what they had to do was, the company ate the cost for all of this. This was like, I think like a 40 grand fuck up. They had to hand work all the etching away. Basically restore it to a flat surface. Then they had to take the entire block, disassemble the entire mold, take all the water out, because there's water lines in it. You drill water lines, but you also have to put baffles in to make the water flow up and down. So hundreds of baffles pulled out. Everything had to be relabeled because, you know, it's got to label everything because everything goes back, because all the whole. So basically completely stripped the block down to a raw block. Then we had to send it to a kiln to get full process welded. So this is a block that weighs, you know, it's about 4 feet by 8 feet by about, you know, this tall off the ground, just the block itself. Goes to a kiln, which is a giant oven, and they put it in an oven and they heat it up to its supercritical temperature over a couple days in an inert atmosphere. And then they let it cool back down to room temperature over a couple days in an inert atmosphere. Because you basically have to heat all the metal up to its supercritical temperature and then let it cool back down to basically harmonize the hardness of the metal, basically to get rid of that hard spot. And then we get it back. It had to get hand worked again because that process leaves like a really scale, leaves like a scale on the mold. So, oh, and it has to get sandblasted too. So you got to hand work all that flat again, put the mold back together, go through a tryout again to make sure everything still works, then take it all back apart and send it back out for acid etching. And then it comes back and then it's good. And then we put it back together. Yeah. Metal's fun. Metal is fun. Okay, yeah, well, that's one of the problems with, like, it's not as bad as it used to be, but I remember, like, this was probably around 2014, 2015, when one of the project managers brought in a lifter that they had metal printed for them, because they were going to start trying to print metal lifters, because you could do lots of cool water circuits in it and whatnot, like water geometry for cooling that you wouldn't be able to do using traditional methods. And they gave it to like the CNC guys to like practice machining on, and they just kept blowing up cutters left and right, because it's like, oh, it's P20 or whatever metal. It's like, yes, but you have to treat the whole thing like it's weld, because it is. Yeah. Is it ostentatious temperature? No. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's been a while. I probably fudged the proper terminology, but you have to heat it up so it's freaking hot, and then you let it cool back down. Isn't it? It is, Tom. It is, Tom. It is making the mold bigger, but there are ways you can compensate for it. That was one of the reasons they had to have the meetings, because it was going to add about like 1 millimeter to the geometry of the part. But since it was the exterior of the part, it actually didn't really affect anything, because all the clip points and everything were on the core side, and that didn't change. The biggest problem they actually had was that the weight of the part was now more, so it screwed up all the shot timing for like the flow rates and everything. So what they ended up doing was just kind of like respotting the mold to just make it like seal up a little tighter. So by respotting the mold, you can basically drop it a couple thou, which basically like fudges with the geometry. They were able to fudge it in basically and still get it within tolerance, essentially. So yeah. So note to self, if you ever have to acid etch metal, be aware if you welded it first. Spin out metal, what did you think of Virtual Foundry possible review? I looked at their stuff. I've talked to Sapphire 3D, who does that kind of stuff, but it's Virtual Foundry. It's you 3D print metal on a normal machine. The problem is I would love to play around with 3D printing metal. So you basically print a filament that is a very high metal content with like a binder in it. So you print the part and then you put it in a kiln and you basically melt it and it fuses all together. So it burns off the binding agent, which is like a PLA or it's a plastic of some sort, and it sinters the metal together. Problem is you need a kiln for it. The kilns are expensive. It's like, I know I can do it and ship it and then get it back, but it's like, if I wanted to do that, I'd rather do it at home. That's one of the things, like if I had a shop, a proper shop, and I wasn't doing this out of a 10 feet in my garage, I would love to do kind of stuff like that, but maybe in the future, Okay, let's do this giveaway, because that is setting up. I'm gonna just double check it. Should I check it? I mean, fuck. Hopefully it's good. No, no. I'm gonna let it go a little bit more. I mean, I can always peen it if I need to. Is it palm? Ooh, that's hot. EDM, dude, I have, let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I built a V6 a while ago. Let me see if I still have it downstairs. This is pretty cool. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see, do I still have it? Please tell me I still have it. I don't think I still have it. I do have it. I do have it. Heck yeah. Oh wow, it's really discolored. Heck yeah, I do have it. This is old. This is really old. See if I can polish it up quick. It's all discolored. Trying to polish it up. Okay, so this is a V6 block. This is a V6 block that I made myself, okay? It's really discolored. You can see it's really, really discolored. So this is, you know, it looks like a V6 block. I made this about, geez, in 2018, I think. I've had this, it's like 6 years old. So this just looks like a normal V6 block. This is a copper beryllium alloy. This is copper beryllium. Let me see. What was it called again? What's the actual one? I don't know the exact flavor, but it's Ampco. Oh, shoot, which one? copper. It's a copper beryllium. I don't know which flavor it is, but it's a copper beryllium alloy, and we use this metal in molds for like areas where you couldn't run a water line, like it would be like a fin or something where it's like the geometry of the metal part, you weren't able to run coolant to it, but you needed to get heat out of there really quick. So you would use an insert of Amco and heat sink it. So you would basically have like a shit ton of water lines right under it, and it would have to act like a heat sink to suck the heat out of the fin, because the problem is like you need to keep the mold a consistent temperature, but like little areas like fins would build up too much heat and can burn the plastic, or you'd have to slow down your cycle time. So you would basically use them out of these metals. I know, don't stand it. I was hoping nobody would know that, but yeah, it's beryllium. You'd have to wear a mask when machining this stuff. So I made this on a Bridgeport, and I actually got my buddy who ran the wire EDM machine to put the slot in it with a wire EDM machine. So that slot is done with a wire EDM, but everything else I machined on a Bridgeport. So yeah, it's beryllium, and it is fully to spec to a V6 block. So the joys of open source, you just pull up the CAD and, but yeah, I made this years ago. This actually worked really good. I got like, I can't remember the numbers. I got a lot of flow out of this because this has a lot of thermal density. Like this weighs like 4 times as much as a normal block. Like it's heavy. Amco 83. Yeah, it's high copper with like 2% beryllium. Could have sworn it was a bit more. Maybe it was an 84. I can't remember. I can't remember. Like, all I know is it was an Amco copper beryllium. I used to know exactly what flavor it was, but that was 6 years. So, do I know anything about the Physek Venture XL? I'll let you know when the kit shows up and we build one. LTX design. Don't tell Linus you're using LTX in your name. Don't tell Linus. But yeah, we're gonna be building that machine. We're gonna have fun with that because I don't know how long I'll keep it stock, put it that way. Okay, let's do this giveaway. I've gone down enough tangents, I think, and I'm losing my voice. And by losing my voice, I can like feel my throat getting all scratchy because I think I'm actually coming down with something. So I will give you 9 minutes. We'll do the giveaway at 4:30. I thought it was Linus LTD. Yeah, but it's LTX with the Expo. I will give you 9 minutes center. We're gonna do the draw at 4:30. So this would make a fun heatsink. So we have this. So we gotta figure out, I gotta figure out how to convert these 130 watt or 130,000 RPM blowers into jet engines. I wonder, let's do some advanced engineering here, class. So if I have, this is the engine. Okay, so if this is a sideways look at it, okay. And then we have the little block at the back. Okay. And then we have the wires coming off. Wow, I need bigger wires, brushes, marker. So the wires come off. Okay, wires come off this way. Okay, there we go. So the question is, how does the Venturi thing do? Like if I put this in a bigger tube with some funky nozzle geometry, like this, when it sucks in air and blows it through here, will it also suck in here and accelerate it? Like, will that give me more, like, what's Dyson do? What's Dyson do? This is kind of like a Dyson, right? Because we're trying to boost it. We're trying to make an aerodynamic afterburner. Because we have this guy. We got this. So it's 130,000 RPMs. It'll move 150 gram statue already. I mean, actually, what I could do... Here, let me hold it with something. I want to see how much thrust it has, actually. Let's see. How much thrust does this have? Let's see how much thrust this has. I don't know how to properly test thrust. We're going down a tangent here while we wait for that to dry. Today was totally a tangent day on the stream, I know. And I know this probably doesn't deliver enough juice to it, but it delivers enough. Okay, so I need 3 things that are equal length to use as a holder. So I need to hold it about here. That'll work. That'll work. I'm just going to tape it to a 1, 2, 3 block. There you go. And it's going to blow up, so it'll blow down. Easy peasy. Turn that off. Okay. So you get there. There. Hovercraft Death Racer. I want to make a plane with these. Okay, so that's that. So now I need power. This uses PD. This actual, like, this is actually a really nice little power supply that they gave me. Okay, so this is off. So let's turn this on. So right now, it's zeroed. Okay, so we got no thrust. So turn this on. Okay. Okay. That's off. Output. Okay, so. Okay, so how much thrust is a good amount of thrust? Like what would be a good value for thrust? $300 grams. I'm getting 28 grams of thrust. I'm getting 28 grams of thrust, but I don't think this can deliver all the power. Like this is topping out at just under 6 volts, 4.5 amps, and 27 watts. It's delivering 29 grams of thrust. Like, come on. Yeah, so it's. Oh. Okay, it was saying 29. Okay, 1 second here. Turn it off. Okay. Oh, it'd help if I didn't have stuff touching it. So tear. Yeah, so we're getting 27 grams of thrust at 5 volts, 4.5 amps. I think it'll do more amps. I think this maxes out at 5 amps. So it's 27 watts. It's set for 7.4 volts. Yeah, 6 volts. Like, got a decent amount, like you feel it, like Saturn V levels. I mean, like, stick a 2S LiPo. I mean, I would have to solder. We'll play with it tomorrow night. I mean, I do have 2S here. Let's actually pull it up here. Let's see what the actual spec sheet is for amp draw. Because I think that's what's limiting me. I can't pull the amps. We got 2 minutes before the giveaway, guys, so enter. Enter. We're doing the giveaway. See, 130,000 RPM blower motor. I just want the motor. I don't have AliExpress logged in on this computer. I'm trying to find the motor. Orders. Because you can find all these fans, but I don't want the fan. I want the blower. Actually, let's see here. That's unplugged. Unplug that. Unplug that. Unplug this. Ben Butler gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. The ESC doesn't tell me anything. But what's under the sock? There's like a rubber sock on this. Oh, we are not touching anything. According to this, it'll do 140 watts. So, ohm calculator. So how many amps is that? So at 7.4 volts, where's watts? It'll do 140 watts. How many amps? That's 18 amps. That's 19 amps. So yeah, that's my thing. I am not, we should get a lot more thrust out of this. Yeah, it's, if you want. 140 watts. 7.4 volt DC, 140 watts. So yeah, I should be able to get a lot more thrust out of this. Tomorrow night, we'll hook a LiPo up to it. See what happens. Because this only does 5 amps. Because this by itself, with all the electronics and the sock, which you probably want, weighs 69 grams. So half of that in thrust. You want a little bit more than half, than 50% thrust to weight ratio, right? You want a bit more than that. I paid 16 bucks on Amazon for this. $160 watts. Yeah. Is the seaboard broken? No, it's not broken. We're modding it. Okay, let's do this giveaway. Oh, Ben Butler gifted 5 community memberships. Did I already say that? I think I already said that. There's a 12 volt. I know there's a 12 volt, but I bought the 7.4 volt because I have a bunch of 2S batteries. I have more 2S than 3S batteries. That's why. I also have a bunch of 4S, but that is too high voltage. Okay, published, close that, save, link to sheet, create new sheet. Okay, let's do this. It's on Steam. Delete, file, save. Steve Weatherman is our first entry, so that's our that. Okay, 12 or a computer power supply. I mean, I could just hook a LiPo up to it. I mean, yeah, I'll just hook a 12-volt LiPo up to it. I got to solder on an XT60 or an XT30. Yeah, it'd be an XT30 with this, I don't think. Continue, race. Names, clear, open. 312 names. Okay, what are we gonna do? Which one are we gonna do? Let's do speed run. How many people was it? 312. Bots, play. 40 gram of thrust. Is that at the, because at 5 amps, we are getting 30 grams of thrust. And it goes up to like 19 amps. So. Okay, how this works. If you win, you get a free spool of filament from Polymaker. But if I pick your ball and you win, you also get a free hat. So actually this one right here, this little lonesome ball all by itself, Loss Inc. If you win, you get a free hat along with your spool of filament. I'm just really wondering if trying to do like the whole Venturi thing like a Dyson does, where it uses the fan to suck in air and then accelerate it out, if that would help increase thrust. I'll have to play around with that. But anyways, don't forget, exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. And if you like the smash button and ring the bell, it greases your ball up and makes it go even faster. Oh, this is going to be a tight one, I think. Oh, David's in the lead. Oh, almost went over the edge, though. Come on, David, it's yours to lose now. It's yours to lose now, David. It's yours to lose, David. You got some competition coming up. You got some competition. Somebody put their email as username. Oh, if they did, they did. Oh, David. Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh, it's gonna come down to who lucks out here, I think. It's gonna come down to who lucks out here. Oh, CMY Keith. CMY Keith. Sniped that. Yeah, I'm totally losing my voice right now. I can hear it. Okay. Really? You put that as your answer? Okay. Really? Out of all the classes, you picked that. Okay. So yeah, CMY Keith, you will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. So you will get an email from me soon. So let's see here. Okay, I'm just double checking the community post to make sure everything's good. Also, I am waiting on a Prusa Core 1 kit. Prusa sending me a kit for the Prusa Core 1. So whenever that shows up, we will be building that as well. So there we go there. That's that. Double checking. I'm just seeing if there's anything on the socials we should be talking about. Okay, so we're good there. Ooh, and how do you, Inge3 random symbol 12 gifted a community membership. Cheers, Joanne. You can go watch tomorrow's video early. It's live on the channel. So we're gonna call it there. Tomorrow's stream is gonna be a little bit of a couple different things. We're probably gonna work on the Seaboard for a bit. We're also gonna be doing a little bit more faffing around. I would really love to try and make an RC plane using these blowers, because I haven't seen anyone do that yet. And for once, I would like to have an idea that's original on this channel. So we're gonna try faffing about with these and just see how much thrust we can get, and figure get 2 of these with a battery in the middle, make it fly. So I've got 3 of them, so that means I can afford to burn 1 out. Hopefully I don't though. And hopefully my little hodgepodge here fix doesn't. If this fix doesn't fix it, I have other ways to make it work. So, asked 1,000 times, will I get an H2D? Anyways, Bamboo doesn't like people that when your machine smokes for over 2 minutes and you accuse them of not having thermal runaway, and then they get all defensive and go, oh, we actually do have thermal runaway. It kicks in after 3 minutes. We don't have it listed anywhere that it takes 3 minutes to kick in, but we're gonna call you out for causing panic and misleading people, and write an entire blog post basically saying we did nothing wrong, you just didn't fully test our machine, because, you know, every other machine has thermal runaway kicking in like 15 seconds and we decided 3 minutes is fine. And now we're never going to talk to you again. Also, yeah, I don't know. Is that a bench pin in my house? It is, and copper plated. It's one of Hendrix. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna call it there. We will have a stream tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow there will be a video live on the channel. It's already live now if you're a channel member or Patreon supporter. It's a talkthrough of Rapid. So that'll be public tomorrow for everyone. It's an hour-long walkthrough of the event. And then Sunday will be the index video. So we're gonna call it there. We'll continue on with this build series next Friday. And yeah, stream tomorrow night. So enjoy your weekend. Oh, I gotta do shoutouts. I almost forgot the shoutouts. That's the most important part. These guys, Polymaker. Cheers to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. You can't enter now, but you can go buy some of their filament. Link in the description. Use the affiliate link. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. Shout out to MakerTech for the kit for this build series right here. If you want to get one of these for yourself, link in the video description. Enter for your chance. Don't do what I did and over tighten your screws into aluminum and strip the threads out. That's not a fault of the kit. That's a fault of me and these guns. And for those that donate to the channel, gift memberships to others, or become members of the channel yourself, I thank you. I would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. It's the weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. And I will see you in the future. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Goodbye.